So our conversation basically centered around what happened and why she never told me. At first, she was kind of talking around it to spare my feelings, and I got sort of frustrated with her and told her to please just tell me what happened. So it turns out they went out as a group right after I gave her Greg's number, and they just had an immediate attraction. They said that for the first few times they hung out, it was all just reminiscing about our college days and never mentioned the attraction. I guess about 2 weeks of hanging out they kissed for the first time, and she was so pissed at herself she blocked his number and didn't see him for almost a month. I guess she got lonely again. They ran into each other and admitted they had real feelings. She said she texted me and told me she wanted to talk about it right after they agreed to start dating. I found this out on my own on Tuesday after going through my texts, but since I was so busy, I wasn't very nice to her. But she knew I was busy and really wavered on interrupting the most important time in my professional career versus telling me some very hard to swallow news. She said rightly or wrongly, she decided to tell me in person when she saw me again. Fast forward a little bit, I guess they so serious they talked about eloping after only 2 months and were pretty much living together. She said they had a drunken New Year's, even party, and just weren't careful, and that's when she assumed she got pregnant. She said she knew then that it was an in-person conversation she had to have with me. Her first free weekend was last weekend. So I basically responded to all of this by saying I just didn't know how to feel. That in my brain I knew Gregory and I were not compatible, but my heart always hoped we'd grow up and be able to make it work, and she was my best friend, and I basically hooked them up. And I just don't know how to deal with all this. I know it's over, but even seeing his shit on her floor was sort of painful. Honestly, that would have been a massive fight between Greg and I. Like I said, Tammy is much more chill. I told her that I would always love her and always be her friend, but an April wedding is probably just too soon to be involved in a wedding party. She said she totally understood. We talked about the elephant in the room for maybe 20 more minutes, but honestly we were just talking in circles, saying the same thing over and over again. So we just sort of moved on to how she was feeling, how work was going, me apparently wearing some sort of man repellent because I can't even hook up on Tinder, and all the other things friends usually talk about. Tammy is in full-blown morning sickness, so she must have barfed 15 times in the first 2 hours of me being there. At first, I just let her do her thing, but then I felt really bad because we've been friends for over 20 years, and I'm not even helping her. So I went in and helped put her hair in a ponytail and rubbed her back. And that's when it hit me that I would absolutely regret it and never be able to forgive myself if I weren't there for her wedding, pregnancy, and having a baby, no matter who she was marrying.